And welcome to Local Talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trace. Now we are live here this morning at 109 Hillsborough Street. And if you have any questions, you can be a part of the program, 919-618-9258, or feel free to shoot us an email at contact@nextdoorradio.com. We have Ella Clark, who is here billing. How are you today?
Doing fine, Trey. Good to see you again.
Goodness, I know I can't see you because of the camera, but you tune in by way of our video. You can check the gentleman out in our studio, but of course, Representative Frank Sossman in the studio as well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful.
I appreciate you both for joining us here today. Of course, we'll start with Mr. Frank here. Talk a little bit about, do a quick little 30-second infomercial on who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm the North Carolina House of Representative for District 32, which currently covers Granville and Vance County. Now it covers all of Vance and about 80% of Granville County.
Fantastic. Of course, Elliot Clark joins us as well. Do a little quick little 30-second on you, my friend, okay?
Sure. Thanks, Trey. Yeah, Elliot Clark. I'm with Community Relations and with Via Health. We're a local management entity and managed care organization that specializes in covering folks with behavioral health care. And what that means is mental health, substance use disorders, and intellectual developmental disability services. We operate in 31 counties in the state. And my particular area of focus is in Vance, Granville, Franklin, and Person counties.
Fantastic. We appreciate you both again. If you want to be a part of the program, 919-618-9258. You guys are having a representative forum on mental health and substance use care. That's coming up very soon. Let's do a quick little introduction on that. And what was some of the reasons you kind of wanted to bring this to our community's attention?
Well, I started having forums in September. We had broadband forums, one for Vance and Granville. Then in October, we had transportation forums in both counties. We did a little extra things in that forum. We did a 10 a.m. realtors training, and then 3 o'clock governmental leaders, and then 6 p.m. public forum. Mental health is such a crisis these days in all demographics. And I felt like having mental health forums and getting the people that's involved in the mental health services would be critically important. When the day we shut down the mental health department in our counties and tried to subcontract everything out, we really never have fully recovered from that because there are people that don't know the services that are available, and those that do know the services that are available don't know how to access those services. So a forum gives us an opportunity in both counties to have the providers there, hear from the providers. The way that night's going to go, there'll be a presentation, and then there'll be 2 panels that will concentrate on addiction, and some will concentrate on some suicide and other things in the mental health area. And then from there, we'll go to the fellowship building, and we'll have providers and their resources that are available so they can take materials home with them. And when they have one of those crises, they'll know what area, who to call, etc. So I'm real excited about it. We've been working diligently on putting it together. We've been working on reaching out to providers, not just those that are certified, but lay people, nonprofit organizations, etc., that also provide these services. I think that the community, if they come out, they're going to be surprised at what's available, because it's like many things. I hear people say, we don't have anything to do around here, don't have anything for our kids to do. I said, wait a minute. No, we do.
Well, we do. That's exactly right.
But what happens is they buy into that. We don't have this, and just keep saying that, they just keep repeating it. And, I believe if you tell a lie 3 or 4 times, it becomes the truth to you, So, but anyway, this will be an opportunity for us to tell the truth about what is available, and even give you some idea about cost. There's no reason you should not be able to access mental health services if you're having a mental health issue or your family. So the forum is going to help answer those questions, provide information, education, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about it. I think it's needed. It's important. It's going to help um, the citizens that come. And again, I hope you're hearing me. And if you are, I hope that you will come and invite others to come with you, because this forum really, in reality, is a life and death forum. So make it your effort to come. And let me tell you where the two are at.
Yep.
On November the 28th is a Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. at Spring Street Missionary Baptist Church in Henderson is the Vance County Forum. That's 511 Orange Street in Henderson. And then on Thursday, November the 30th at 6 p.m. at Cornerstone Christian Community Church, which is at 3237 Knox Grove Road in Oxford, the Granville County Forum will be held. I felt like church and churches would be a great place to have our forums for mental health, because the church is one of the providers of help and assistance for mental health crisis. So it's going to be just an ideal place to have. And faith is also one of those resources that we should be reaching out to and provide and using in a mental health issue or crisis.
Mr. Elliott, we have brought the preacher man out here in our studio, and I love it. I love it. Again,
Yeah.
Frank Sussman, representative, joining us here. Of course, Elliott Clark, and I appreciate it for correcting me a little earlier. Sorry about that, Elliott, but with Via Health. Talk a little bit more about your kind of relations when it comes to something like this, putting something like this on.
Sure. Yeah, so we've partnered with Granville Vance Public Health Department as well. A lot of what we've done strategically is making sure, and as Representative Sussman was just mentioning, there's so many different players in this game, around offering really a community of resources and an infrastructure that's available on multiple levels. So we want mental health not to just be in one place where people go and, that's you go one place for one service. We want it to be integrated in part of whole person care, right? We want folks that when they're going to their primary care physician, they're asking their questions. And if they have a need that arises, there's a way for them to get introduced to how to get mental health services. We want people in crisis to know exactly who to call. And it's not always 911 if you just need to get linked to care. So a lot of what we've done specifically to this forum, obviously, is just strategically planning, reaching out to our providers, reaching out to some of the community-based organizations, both in Granville and in Vance. Those are folks like Rural Health Group, like I said, the health department. Here in Oxford, you have places like Vision Behavioral Health Services, you have Central Community Services. Up in Vance, you have Vance Recovery, Daymark, Legacy Human Services, lots of folks that have actually been around for a long time, providing really, really good care for our citizens. And we want to make sure that they're visible, that we put them out in the forefront, that when the public's coming in to ask questions and to just get information, that they can see their face, they can hear from them exactly what those departments look like, what kind of services they offer. So this is about education, right? And how you educate is through exposure and meeting people and asking those questions. It's not always about, hey, here's the ideal, theory around, how to access mental health. It's how does it look in your community? Who do you call? Where do you go? What's that first step look like? So that we want this to be this resource to be received in a very practical way for the public.
And Mr. Frank Sussman, you've done a couple of forums our last couple of months that we've had you on our program, and they've been extremely successful based on some of the conversations.
They have been successful, and they have been very lively. Broadband, for example, is a very passionate topic, and so they've been lively, and it's what I want from the forums, because again, if I'm going to represent the people, then I've got to help educate them and make them aware of what's available. And we Elliott and I and the group that's been discussing all this, as we've been brainstorming about what's available, we knew it was available, but we were all we were a little surprised when you start talking about what is out there. It is encouraging because again, most people don't
Mhm.
think that we have very much to offer in the
Mhm.
area of mental health, but we do. Services are available. No one should go and be struggling at all with a mental health issue or crisis because there is help available in both counties that you can get the help you need to live a much more better and prosperous life. And that's, again, the objective of the forum. So, I hope that again people will see the need. The need is evident. You read about it in the paper, you hear it on the news. The evidence it's evident that we have a mental health crisis. So people ought to be coming to get the help they need as far as resources and information.
And that's a great segue into next conversation, Elliot, regarding some of those resources, something that you can, of course, have a better understanding of. Can you explain some of those resources if you can?
Absolutely. So some of those resources might look like a community-based organization that you might go to in search of something as simple as your basic needs, food or shelter, right? And when you come seeking those very basic resources, oftentimes folks are not in the best state and state of mind and need help just getting linked to a provider, a professional that can hone in and help those individuals. So we partner with some of those community-based organizations around town, making sure that some of the community health workers that might interface with those folks are aware of what number to call, where to go, and a couple of those places I mentioned earlier, but an important component of as far as access, one can be primary care, right? So if you get your primary care through a place like Rural Health Group or the health department, there's professionals that are embedded there that can help link you. And if you need flexibility of just walking in to a provider, we've got two clinics, one in each county. The one in Granville is Vision Behavioral Health Services down at Hilltop Village. And the second is Daymart Recovery Services over on Andrews in Henderson. And that, so those are two entry points. An entry point that is not as ideal, but that winds up getting utilized quite frequently still is the hospital, right? You know, when folks are in crisis, especially if you have somebody that is at a point where they can't make the right decision for themselves, they need guidance and unfortunately maybe sometimes to go through an involuntary commitment protocol with law enforcement. That's what we don't want, but it happens. Folks are having to go to the emergency department far too frequently. So, you know, our hospital system, Granville Health System and Mariah Parham, wind up being very involved in that
Mhm.
process, and our support to them is hoping that that those folks that come through don't keep coming through, that we can catch them and help them link to those providers in the community that I mentioned. Um, an access number, just to plug very briefly, that folks need to know about, the public needs to know about. One is a state-sponsored initiative, and that's 988. That is the state's response to more of a centralized one number to call if you're in a behavioral health crisis and you don't know who else to call, right? But you know you don't want to call 911. 988 routes you to places like VIA, places
Wow.
that will link you to providers in your own community. Another way to just find out more information about at least what we cover is just to call us. Our number, our member and service recipient line is 1-800-962-9003. That's a business hours number just for more routine
Mhm.
calls. But we also have a crisis line that folks need to know about as well. And that's 1-800-849-6127.
Elkhart, he is with Via Health. Of course, Representative Frank Sossman joins us here for our local talk program here on Next Door Radio. If you missed any of this program, head back to our website at nextdoorradio.com, and everything we've ever done is sitting right there under the local talk. Of course, here today, talking a little bit more about the mental health and substance use care representative forum coming up, which is on November 28th there in Henderson at Spring Street Missionary Baptist Church. That's from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and here in Oxford at Cornerstone Christian Community Church, November 30th. That's also from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Anything else that we've missed or that we want to kind of highlight?
Yeah, I'd like to highlight the fact that we've invited the schools to come so they can make the public aware of the resources that they have available for one of their students that is having an issue or having a crisis. Help is available. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. They aren't aware of the services that are available in the public school setting. Plus the services that are available in other agencies that we'll talk about for young people. There seems to be a major crisis among our youth, and we're going to focus on that at the forum. So we're going to have services for people of all ages and with all kinds of problems and issues. So coming to the forum will really help you leave educated, informed, even feeling more hopeful about either your own personal crisis or the crisis that some of your family members may be going through. You'll leave saying there's hope, there's help, and I'm going to access that help.
Love it. Anything for you, my friend?
Yeah, just maybe a little bit more specifics. We'll have two panel discussions. The huge piece of this forum is going to be the actual vendors that are there, as Representative Sossaman is mentioning. But we will have two panel discussions that'll be focused in two areas. One around youth and family access, youth and mental health. So there'll be professionals that specialize both from the school system and within our system of care that focus on that population. Because sometimes it looks much differently, obviously, as far as access for our younger folks. And then there'll be a focus. The second panel will be around specifically substance use services. We know very well in these communities, substance use is the way that mental health sometimes manifests in people's lives, and people become addicted and experiment largely because of trying to self-medicate and treat an underlying mental health issue. So, but addictions sciences and treatment is a very specialized field. So we'll have a panel of experts that'll be able to talk about what kind of resources are available, what kind of treatments they focus on to help in those circumstances. So those two areas of focus will be in the panels included.
Fantastic. And how can our listeners get a hold of you if they have any questions, concerns? What's the best place to get a hold of you?
Well, they can call my office. They can actually call one of our funeral homes too.
There you go.
I have a lot of people that do that, and I invite that. And my son and the staff invites that. And you can call around the clock because we have answering service that is answering the phone. So if I get calls through the funeral home a lot, and it's text to me, the need in the person. But my office number is 919-733-5824. Clay Keel is my legislative assistant, who will be the first person to answer the phone. But we both will do whatever we can to help you if you give us a call.
Fantastic. Elliot Clark, where can the best place to get a hold of you?
So for one, I'd love for folks that are curious about VIA Health to check out our website, viahealth.com. VAYA is VIA Health.com. And again, the member and service recipient line to figure out what things look like in your local community, what provider resources there are, is a good way to access VIA and just ask those questions. And that number again is 1-800-962-9003. And to reach out to me personally, my cell number is 919-608-7894. And my email address is Elliot, ELLIOT, Clark, .CLARK at viahealth.com.
Fantastic. And we are going to welcome you back. Let me look at my calendar back here. The 21st, we'll have you back on, talk a little bit more closer as we get to the event. But thank you both for joining me here today. Of course, you were tuning in by way of our video. We appreciate you. Of of course, by way of our audio, our nextdoorradio.com and our mobile app. We appreciate you very much. Both of you, God bless. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you very soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trey.
Thank you both. Again, my name is Trace Nine on behalf of our local talk program. Until next time, God bless. We'll see you later.